This presentation is going to go over the paradoxical era, which is from 1968 to 1980. Nixon's presidency occurred between 1969 and 74. He focused his efforts on reforms that provided jobs for the American citizens. Social reform excelled in the first 3 years of his term, as well as did social spending. He went about his work with floating coalitions and political outbidding. Also, he spent billions of dollars on poverty programs. Jimmy Carter was in office from 1977 to 1980. He primarily expanded Medicaid programs, and he made more rights for people with disabilities, which was much needed. During 1978, he made massive cuts in social programs, and he said that he disliked addicts because he believed that they were taking advantage of the government's programs. Gerald Ford's presidency was much shorter, as it occurred for only 2 years between 1974 and 76, but he did create the Education for Handicapped Children Act in 1975. It granted money to schools with mentally and physically disabled students, this way that they could enter a regular classroom. Some facts about civil rights during this time period are that Congress created laws which banned gender-based discrimination, and HEW ceased discrimination against women, so it ended and women really came leaps and bounds, and desegregation occurred. In light of social spending, poverty decreased drastically during the paradoxical era. Also, programs such as food stamps, SSI, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, CETA, and MDTA, also unemployment insurance companies were all created for the welfare of the people. Some other brief successes that occurred was the establishment of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970. This was crucial as it allowed workers to get the much-needed protection from toxic chemicals in the air. Also, the women's movement made changes to pay and work-related rights. It gave women a sense of safety knowing that they could reclaim themselves. This relates to our classroom notes about inequality, as we learned about in Chapter 8, and we also learned about this in the paradoxical era. This was the result of policy changes, which caused a massive shift in the economic power. All of the power was taken out of the hands of middle-class Americans, and it was given to the wealthy people.